Hello my darlings, today on our channel I am going to show you how to create a roaring 20s era lamp that is as functional as it is stunning. Stay tuned. For this project, you will need one glass urn, 4 4-inch tapered glass candle holders. You will need any ribbon of your choice. I will be using this pink ruffled ribbon. You will need 2 of these LED push lights. I've already wrapped mine in diamond wrap. If you like that look, you'll need to get some diamond wrap yourself. You will also need 2 of these acrylic bowls. You will need 12 of these glass pendants, and of course you will need your handy dandy tools. Today we're going to be working with our soldering iron. Let's get crafting. So the first thing we're going to do is prepare our candle holders so that they can sit on the side and dry while we're getting all of the other components ready. And as you see here, I'm taking my level and I'm leveling all of my candle holders to make sure that when I put my project together, it is going to stand nice and straight and tall. And now we're going to glue our candle holders together using our Gorilla Glue 2-part epoxy. Of course, I mixed mine off camera in the essence of time, but now all you see I'm doing here is using my popsicle stick to place that epoxy on the brim of one of those candle holders, and then I am going to turn another one atop it. Now I'm going to set these to dry for about 20 minutes, but before I do, I'm going to show you that I am also going to place the other 2 one on top of the other, allow those to dry for 20 minutes as well, and then I'm going to glue the 2 parts together so that we have 4 candlesticks glued together. So now that we're waiting for our candle holders to dry, we are now going to prepare our urn. And to do this, we are going to use our ribbon, of course, whatever ribbon you decide on. I have decided to use this very dainty pink ruffled ribbon. And so what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to anchor it to my urn using a stream of hot glue. And then once I've done that, I'm going to continue going around my urn, placing hot glue and E6000 in alternating fashion. Now, the reason why I'm using, of course, E6000 and hot glue is because this lamp is going to be a permanent fixture in my home, and so I do not want to run the risk of that hot glue getting old as time goes by and peeling off of the glass or peeling off of the cloth, and then it starts to sag and I'm going to have to continually go in to glue it back to the glass. And so I'm just going to continue the process going all the way around until I get back to where I started. Now, because we are placing this ribbon going all the way around our urn, and again, for me it may be different because I'm using ruffles. For you it may be different. Maybe you will use a flat ribbon, but in an effort for my ruffles to stand out, as you saw, what I did was I lifted up that first layer of ruffles that was there, and now I am placing my second layer of ribbon down, and this way it is going to give my ruffles an even more distinct look. So I'm going to continue the process going all the way around, and then I'll be back to tell you what our next step is. So now that our base is complete, isn't it pretty? I wish you guys could feel it. It feels so soft. But now that our base is complete, it is time for us to glue our two parts together. And to do this, we are going to use our Gorilla Glue epoxy to glue our glass pieces together. Now, please note that I am not using a lot of Gorilla Glue epoxy to glue these two parts together. And the only reason for this is once you use the Gorilla Glue epoxy to glue glass on glass, the items that you put together, or rather the item on top, tends to slip and slide away. So just a word of caution, if you're using that Gorilla Glue epoxy to glue two pieces of glass together, make sure you have the time to sit and hold it for about 2 to 3 minutes to ensure that those two pieces do not slide away from each other. And as you can see, the minute I put that candle holder on top of that urn, it started to slide off when I moved my hand from it. So just a word of caution, my darlings. And so I am going to sit here for about 2 to 3 minutes while that glue sets underneath, and then I'll be back to tell you what our next step is. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to create the holes with our soldering iron that we are going to need to string or thread our crystal pendants. Now, as you can see, the ribs on this bowl are very thick, and so we do not want to make our holes there because we want our O-rings to actually be able to fit over that lip. And so instead of making our holes on the rib, we're going to make our hole between each rib. Now, I only have 12 glass pendants that I am willing to place on this lampshade, and so I am going to place my holes between every other rib. There are 24 ribs on that bowl. Placing my holes between every other rib is going to give me 12 holes for 12 glass pendants. And once I have created my holes, then it is simply going to be a matter of threading my pendants to place them on my lampshade. And once I have that, this is what it's going to look like as soon as I'm finished creating the rest of my holes and placing my glass pendants on the lampshade. So now that we have finished creating our holes with our soldering iron as well as placing our glass pendants, it is now time for us to join these two bowls together. And the way we are going to do that is by using our combination of E6000 glue, which is going to give us our forever adhesion, with a little help from our hot glue, which is going to give us our right now adhesion and which is going to allow us to continue working. And as you can see, I have placed that E6000 glue right atop the ridge, which is on the bottom of the bowl. I have not placed any glue in the middle, that flat section there, because there, or that part of the bowl rather, is not going to be engaged. And so once I have gotten my glass pendants out of the way, I am going to place one bowl on top of the other, making sure that I have found the correct placement, applying some pressure, going all the way around that bowl, and leaving it to dry, or rather leaving that hot glue to dry for a few seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds before we continue working. Now that I'm satisfied that that glue is starting to engage, I am now going to use some pink ribbon. Now this part is optional, but I wanted to use it to make sure that I was covering up where those two bowls were joined and covering up any glue remnants that were there. And so to place this ribbon down, all I'm doing is applying it with hot glue, starting from one point and going all the way around to the other side and closing it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this process off camera, and then when I return, I will let you know what our next step is. So now that we have all of our components prepared, it is now time for us to put all of the pieces together. And to do this, we are going to place our lamp on top of our base, which is our our stem, which is our 4 candle holders that we have glued together. And what I'm doing is I'm going in with my E6000 glue, and I'm putting a foundation of E6000 glue down, and then on top of that, I'm just going in with a few beads of that hot glue, which is going to give us a right now adhesion, but it's also going to allow us to continue working. And once I have placed my foundation of glue, it is simply a matter of placing my lampshade on those candle holders, ensuring that I have found my placement and making any adaptations or any changes before that hot glue sets. Now that I have found the correct placement, I am going to place my LED lights, one on top facing downwards, and then I'm going to place another one on the bottom under our base, and that light is going to illuminate from the top through the lampshade and also from the bottom up. And so I'm going to clean this up, remove any glue fronds there are, set it, and then I'll be back to show you what our finished project looks like. Well, my darlings, here she is, our Dollar Tree Roaring 20s era lamp. Isn't she beautiful? I think I will have to say that my favorite part of this project is going to be that ruffled base. Now, although it gives it a softer feminine look, it also gives it a dainty feel and takes me right back to that time during the Roaring 20s when the ladies were all about their flapper dresses and their block-heeled shoes. Now, another favorite aspect of this piece is that Dollar Tree glass. Man, I tell you, I am so in love with it. How it absorbs and reflects the LED light so beautifully. And so if you could imagine having this in a darkened room, just illuminating a corner, this will give you a lot of light. Now, I will have to say that, of course, the motto of our channel is why buy when you can DIY, and this is a perfect example of that. Who would have thought that with just $9 for the base, we could, with a few extra dollars and our imagination and embellishments, create something that is historical, that is timeless, that is stunning as it is functional. My darlings, I think once again we have nailed this. And so if you have found any value in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as leave me a comment in the comment section below. One thing I would like to know from you is, what applications do you see for this lamp? I am interested to see how you guys are going to incorporate it into your lives. To my Danny's darlings, I just want to say to you, thank you so much for your love, your comments, your encouragement, your questions. Please know that I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are not yet a Danny's darling and you just happen to stumble by our channel today, kindly take the time to consider subscribing, as well as pressing that notification bell so that you will be made aware whenever one of our videos has been published. We would love to have you. And so, my darlings, one of our happy birthday darlings, Miss LaShonda, until next time, please, please, please take care of yourselves for me. Know that I love you all. Bye now.